Hello and welcome. Adita Lang here, and in today's strength and bodyweight class, well, we are working on core and abdominals. What do you think? Or back, everything. Kind of like the center of our body, right? That's what keeps us nice and strong when we do other activities. So with that said, in today's class, you're only going to need a mat. You want a nice cleared out area, nothing to get into your way, water close by, take breaks when you need to, and work at a pace that's comfortable to you. So as we get started, toe tap, reaching the arm forward. And as your arm is going forward, I want you to think posture. You want to hold your shoulders back and down into your back pockets, even though your arm is moving forward. And now go across the chest, and as you go across the chest, you add a bit of rotation. So chest stays up, shoulders stay back and down, and now you brace in from the ribs ever so slightly so that your abdominals are engaged all the way through class. Just saying, I'm just saying. And reach out. Now both arms forward, leg curl. Full inhale and full exhale. So you use your breath as your rhythm of movement. Toe taps again. Add the rotation. You have 4, 3, 2, hold to the left, roll through the back foot, up and down, roll up. One more time. Hold the heel down, stretching your calf. Now step the foot in slightly, straighten the left leg, bend the right knee, and aim your tailbone back as you hinge. This is going to create some lengthening in the left hamstring. Big deep breath. Exhale, tailbone goes back. Let's do that one more time. Big deep breath. Exhale, tailbone goes back. And release. Let's do the other side, shall we? Roll through the foot, up and down, up and down. One more time. Hold the heel down, give yourself a stretch. Now drag the leg in slightly, extend the right leg, bend the left leg, and hinge, aiming your tailbone way back. Big deep breath. And exhale. One more time. Press back and hold. And back to center. Now both feet out. Think of a side stretch, reach over, push the left hip into the floor or just down towards the ground, and then pull back. And reach and pull. Reach and pull. One more time. Hold here. Now sit up, same arm across the chest and hold. And then add a little bit of rotation. And release. Other arm comes up and over. And pull. Up and pull. Up and pull. One more time. Hold here. And now sit up, arm across the chest and hold. Then add a bit of rotation. And release. So both arms coming forward, shoulders are down, and think only shoulder blades. A small bend in the knees, retract the shoulders, which means connect your shoulder blades, and release. And retract and release. So this little muscle here is one of those forgotten jewels because your rhomboids helps you hold your shoulders back naturally. But if we allow our shoulders to just roll forward on a day-to-day basis, we actually stretch the muscle. So the goal here is to keep it strengthened so it naturally holds your shoulders back. One more time, and hold, and release. So now your feet are hip distance. Think of the hinge, which comes from your hip joint. So just let the arms hang, shoulders are back and down, and simply hinge until you feel the lengthening in your hamstrings, and then squeeze through your glutes right back up. And again, hinge and lift. So the goal is that the only bend comes from the hip joint and not the middle of the back. Full inhale and full exhale, keeping the shoulder blades slightly retracted and the knees stay slightly bent and they don't change. 3 more. And 2. One more time. And 1. Lift up both arms out. Let's do this one more time. Shoulder blades retract behind you. And just kind of glance at your elbows. You want to make sure that you're not opening and closing your arms or bending your elbows. The movement is strictly the shoulder blades touching behind you and letting go. 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release those arms. Okay, again, from our hinge, drop the arms, shoulder blades are back, bracing from your center, and hinge and up. So the minute you feel your hamstrings stretch, that's as far as you can go, and then squeeze up through your glutes. Inhale one way, exhale the other. 4 more. And 3. Now 2. 1 more. And 1. Well done. Okay, this is a great time to grab some water, and let's get our mat to the floor. Flatten our mat out. Okay, both legs come forward, big deep breath here, and as you exhale, you want to hinge again. Now, if you're starting from this sitting position, but you feel like you're slouched under, I want you to roll up a towel or a mat or use a yoga block to lift yourself up just enough so you can straighten your back out and then hinge forward. Pull the toes towards you, big deep breath, and exhale. One more time, big deep breath, and exhale. Now, when we were standing, we were hinging back, or we were hinging forward. So now, let's hinge back. Your feet are in the mat, chest is up tall, and I want you to think about this lengthening here. So again, you may need to sit on something if you feel like you're slouched back. So pull up so you hold your neutral spine, hands at genie position, and then hinge back and come back to forward. So as you're hinging back, you want to brace in from the rib cage and press forward. So again, the movement only comes from your hip joint. Inhale one way, exhale the other. Deepening the breathing. Four more. And 3. Now 2. And 1. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall. I want you to really think about your core. Remember, these core exercises. So we want to challenge our core in various ways. So one of those challenges is going to be sitting up nice and straight and simply bringing the knee in and pushing the knee out. Notice how my torso does not change. Knee comes in, knee comes out. Brace in from your center as your knee moves towards you, and you can use your right hand as a stabilizer on the right knee. Chest is tall, think shoulder blades back and down. 3 more. And 2. Now 1. The same with the other leg. Press out and in. Chest is up tall. Full inhale, full exhale. You have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both knees bent. Let's go for one more round. Hands up a genie and hinge back and lift up. Bracing in from the center. Now, kind of realizing too that we're all going to have a different size of our hinge back, and that's okay. The key here is your form and technique. So pulling in from the rib cage, keeping the back at neutral the entire time, and only moving from the hip joint. 4 more. 3. And 2. Now 1. So let's hold on to the leg. Leg comes out thinking tall right here. And here's one thing I want you to look at this time. As you're drawing your knee in towards you, try to move and track the knee in a nice straight line. So sitting up tall, keeping your neutral spine, leg comes in and out. And stare at your knee, making sure that you're tracking the straight line all the way through the move. Chest up. 5 more. 4. 3, 2, and 1. The other side. Press out and in. Brace in from the center. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring yourself over to the side. Let's take yourself to the back. Okay, first things first. Just stretch the knees in. One of my favorite stretches. We might as well slip this in when we can. Now from here, both feet come down. They're a little bit narrower, but close to the hips. Now, shoulders go back and down into the mat and lift straight up into a bridge. So your goal here is to create a straight line from the shoulders to the knees and try not to allow these hips to drop. From here, allow the knees to open and to close, but keeping all the toes touching the floor. So as your knees go out, it may feel like it's natural to lift up your big toe. I need you to push your big toe down. Bracing in from the rib cage, keeping your weight into your shoulders and back. 4 more. And 3. Now 2 and 1. Lower down, feet come up. They're about 90 degrees with the knees right over the hips. Arms come out to the side and allow the legs to go to one side. Now, my legs are moving to the right, so my left shoulder has to stay against the floor. When I can't hold my left shoulder anymore, that's where you stop. Tighten in from the center and then switch sides. So the shoulders are what is going to gauge what your range of motion is. And I want you to use your rib cage to try to give you more strength. So you're pulling in the ribs as your legs move. Inhale one way, exhale the other. Deepening your breathing. Four more. Two. And 1. Back to center. Feet come down. Same position for your bridge. Arms are down, shoulders are back. And lift up into the bridge, grounding your feet to the floor, and open and close. Keeping the hips up in a nice straight line from your shoulders to your knees. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, knees up again. 1 more round. Let those legs go to the side. Now remember, keeping the left shoulder into the floor as the legs move right, then squeezing from your center as you bring those legs up into the other side. Left shoulder stays down, or right shoulder stays down. There we go. No matter how you look at it, both shoulders should stay down into the mat. But the opposite shoulder is the one that's going to dictate how far the legs can go. And brace in from the center as it becomes challenging. We have 4 more on each side. This is 1. And 2. Here's 3. And 4. And the legs come back to center. Bring them down here, hands behind the head. Starting out with just a basic crunch. So I want you to lift up about 1 inch off the ground. From here, feel the weight of your head in your hands. That's 8 to 10 pounds. Okay, some of you might be 12, but it's about 8 to 10 pounds. Now, from here, I want you to take your awareness to your rib cage. They should feel open, so now squeeze the ribs in nice and tight, and then allow them to open. And this squeezing of the ribs is what lifts your upper body up off the ground. It's not your arms. Your arms are only holding the weight of your head. It's the movement through the rib cage which is working your abdominals. Inhale one way, exhale the other. Five. And 4. 3. 2. And 1. Now keep the hands behind the head. Feet are hip distance. This time stay up in a basically a stationary crunch. So hold yourself here and move left leg and right leg. At this point, you should feel your back connected to the mat, and it doesn't change. You should feel your ribs in, really pressed in and down, and they stay there, but you're breathing. Inhale one way, exhale the other. 4 more on each side. This is 3. And 2. 1 more. And come down. Guess what? We have one more round of both exercises. Are you ready? We start with our crunches. First, hover off the floor, feel the weight of your head, and now feel the ribs go in and out. Inhale one way, exhale the other. Remember, the lifting of the upper body comes because the ribs are contracting, not because of the arms. The arms are only holding the weight of your head. 5 more. And 4. 3. 2. And 1. Okay, up into a stationary crunch. Hold yourself here. Feel the rib cage in. One leg, and then the other. So as your legs are moving, you want to squeeze the rib cage more. You feel your back connected to the floor. It never changes, and the ribs are staying as closed as they can be. And the minute you feel like you're opening your ribs, close them again. Use your breathing as you move. 4 more on each side. And 3. Here's 2. 1 more. And lower down. Let's roll over and bring ourselves back over. This is a great time to grab some water as well. Now coming into all fours position here. Some people call this tabletop. You want to feel like all 4 points, the 2 knees and the 2 hands, have even amount of weight. Now trying to stay even, right leg goes back, left arm comes forward, and hold. Now the 2 points have the same amount of weight. Your hips are parallel to the floor, and 1 inch up, 1 inch down. Now some of you, while you're doing this exercise, you can feel your body squirming around, so I want you to slow down. Try to move at a pace that you feel that it's steady and fully controlled. Brace in from your center, use your breath as you move. You have 3, and 2, and 1. The other side. First find your center, both hips are parallel to the floor, and then lift and lower, but at a pace that you can control your entire body. Looking down at the ground. Five more. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretch back into child's pose. And now come forward into a plank position from your knees and elbows. Okay, so your body's nice and steady here. So focusing on the right leg, I want you to think more of contracting the muscle than lifting. You want to make sure that your tailbone is down so there's a straight line from your knees to your shoulders, and then contract the glute and release. Contract and release. If you're truly contracting the muscle, your movement's going to feel limited, and that's okay. Brace in from your center and use your breath as you move. Contract. 5 more. and 4, 3, 2, and 1. The other side, same thing. Double check your posture and then contract. Bracing in from the center, using your breath as your rhythm of movement, keeping the tailbone down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring yourself back to all fours. Balance your body weight first. Left arm forward, right leg back, and lift and lower. Remember, the goal is to keep yourself steady, so move at a pace that you can control. Full inhale, full exhale. 5, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. The other side. And lift and lower. Chest is up nice and tall, and up. Deepening the breath. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's do a child's pose real quick. It's always nice to add in there. And down to your plank position, tailbone goes down, so there's a nice straight line from the tip of your head to your tailbone. Now focusing on the right leg, contract the glute and release. Contract. Remember, the tighter you contract that muscle, the more limited is the work, but that means the leg gets stronger quicker. Inhale one way, exhale the other. 5 more. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. The other side, same thing, contract and release. Bracing in from your center. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's stretch back one more time. And now bring your body up to seated. Extending both legs a little wider than your hips. Now, we talked about this at the beginning, sitting up nice and tall. So if you feel like you're slouched over, roll up your mat or a towel or sit on a yoga block so you're upright. Now, from here, both arms go out, and I want you to pretend that you have a metal pole from hand to hand. That means you cannot bend from your shoulders. Super important. Chest up, shoulders are back and down. Now rotate through the torso and then hinge and come center and rotate and hinge. And your goal is to rotate without bending from the shoulders. And then remember that hinge comes from the hip joint as you reach. Up and hinge. Back up and rotate and hinge. Bracing in from your center. Inhale one way, exhale the other. Deepening the breath. Three more. And 2. One more time. And come center. Bring your feet about hip distance apart. Deep breath here and exhale and hinge, pulling your toes back towards you. And remember, think of the hinge. It's from the hip joint. So your chest is up and you want to feel like you're pushing your tailbone back as far as you can. Inhale and exhale. One more time, big deep breath. Exhale. Let's cross one foot over in a figure 4, big deep breath, and exhale again. Hinge from the hip joint, toes come back towards you. This time lifting up the knee and turning to the left as far as you can from the left shoulder. And center and hinge. And rotate and hold. And now release the other side. Big deep breath. Exhale and hinge. And lift up and rotate. And then hinge. And rotate. And release. So let's take those feet out again. We're going to do one more set. Sitting up nice and tall, both arms out. Now remember, metal pole from shoulder to shoulder. Rotate and hinge. And rotate and hinge. Rotate and hinge. Inhale one way, exhale the other. Deepening your breathing. Rotate and hinge. And rotate and hinge. Bracing in from your center. Full inhale, full exhale. Rotate and hinge. One more. And center. So you can leave your legs out or you can cross them, whatever feels comfortable. And give yourself a side stretch. So pushing the left hip into the floor as the left arm goes up and over. Release. Let's do that one more time. And reach as far as you can go, pushing your hip into the floor. And release the other side. Same thing, up and over. Pushing the right hip down. Deep breath. And exhale and reach. And hold. And center. Interlace the fingers, stretch the hands to the front. And release them again. Stretch. One more. Stretch here. Arms come all the way up and let them go. Let's do that again. Stretch forward. Reach the hands up. And let them go. Hands go behind the head. Rotate the upper body to the left as far as you can, reaching back from that left elbow. And now center, other side. We'll do that one more time. Rotate to the left, lead back with the left elbow. And now rotate to the right, lead back with the right elbow. And release, extending one leg out. One leg is bent in, big deep breath. And exhale and hinge here. And then sitting up, holding this knee up into the chest and just rotate around the ankle. Lift up through the chest, shoulders are back and down. And now the other direction all the way around. And release, leg goes out, the other leg goes in, deep breath, and exhale and hinge. Again, inhale and exhale. And up, bring that leg up, chest is tall, and rotate around the ankle. And the other direction all the way around. And release, bringing both feet into just a butterfly stretch. Simply shifting your body weight forward. And as you do so, you'll feel the stretch in your inner thighs. Inhale and exhale, shift your body weight forward. And once again, sit in a position that you feel comfortable with and shoulders come up, back and around. All the way up, back and around. One more time. Holding the shoulders down, look to your left as far as you can. And then turn your face and look over to the right. And back to center, bringing the ear to the shoulder, pressing the right shoulder down. Inhale up and exhale back down and hold. And release the other side. Ear to shoulder, pressing the shoulder down. Big deep breath. And exhale and hold. And release. Thank you so much for joining me in today's class. Go out there, make sure you're drinking plenty of water, and of course, keep the body moving. Until next time, bye for now.